Hi there, Jasmine here from Redwood. I just wanted to quickly jump on and cover off this week's frequently asked question, which is I want to start saving for my later years. Where do I start? Fabulous question. Um, Obviously, first of all, it's great that you're even thinking about saving for your later years. Sometimes that can be really hard to imagine. We can think about and focus on a goal of saving for a new car or a new house, and that's only maybe a few years away. But when we start thinking about saving for our later years, sometimes it's hard to really kind of think that far in advance. So the fact that you're already asking yourself that question is a fabulous sign. In terms of where you start, the first thing obviously is always going to be about what's affordable to you right now. Of course, we're going to be restricted by budget and what we can afford to save. So running a budget spreadsheet, knowing what your income and expenditure is and what you have spare each month is going to be the first part of really kind of working out, okay, how much can I actually afford to start putting away? Because ideally, when it comes to saving for our later years, we want to be able to put away as much as possible. But of course, we've got to balance that with enjoying life now and making sure that we can pay our bills. In terms of how do you get started when it comes to saving for your future? Well, there's lots of different ways that you can save for your later years. Everyone probably has heard of a pension, but a pension isn't the only way that you can save for your future later retirement years. You might decide to build a business, and that's part of your retirement planning. You might want a buy-to-let portfolio, or you might look at putting money into an ISA, not just a pension. There are lots of different vehicles and lots of different ways that we can get to that end goal. But the first thing is actually defining what that end goal looks like. You need to start with the end in mind. When do you want to be able to retire? What kind of lifestyle do you want to have when you retire? How many holidays? How many times do you want to have to replace your car? Do you want to be able to give gifts to your children and grandchildren? And quantifying all of this and really thinking about it is going to help you to then put a figure on it. And once we can then say, well, this is how much money I want to have each year as an income in my retirement, you can then work that figure back to then work out how much you should be saving each month into whatever your retirement plan is going to be. So let's just say, for argument's sake, we work all of those figures back and it turns out that you should be saving £200 per month. And let's just say for now that we decide to put it into a pension, just for simplicity. But your budget shows that at the moment you can only afford to save £100 per month. Well, obviously, that's where you're going to start, is the £100 per month. I think that's the important thing, is sometimes we put off saving for our future years because we think we can't afford it or we don't have enough money. But even if we should be saving £200 per month for our later years and all we can afford is £100 per month, starting to save that £100 per month now is going to make a big difference in the future. We're getting into that savings habit. We're getting into that habit of putting money away for our future, and that's going to start building that pot, and we're going to get compound interest, so growth on top of growth, which is really going to help over all of those years that we're working towards our retirement. And then as we get promotions and pay rises, it's really simple. We have a rule of 50%. And what that means is whenever you find yourself getting a pay rise or a promotion, take 50% of that pay rise and enjoy it, spend it, have fun with it now while you're here and alive today. And take the other 50% and add that to your future retirement savings. So what that means is we never get too dependent on every single pay rise and promotion, because we're not spending all of it, we're keeping half back. But also what we'll find is that over the years, ideally, if you should have been saving £200 per month, but you could only afford £100 at first, eventually over the years with pay rises and promotions, you'll find yourself getting closer to that ideal target of saving £200 per month, for example. Generally speaking, obviously, what you should save each month is, of course, going to be different depending on the lifestyle that you want to have in retirement, your current salary, and your expenses as well. But as a general rule of thumb, the advice is that whatever you're earning today, you should be trying to save and put away at least 10% of that into some kind of retirement or savings plan, whether that's a pension, an ISA, or something else. So that's a good guide, is the 10%. So if you're already saving a little bit into a pension, perhaps you're in an auto enrollment scheme and you and your employer are contributing into it, you may find that you're already getting close to contributing 10% of your salary as it is. And actually then you maybe don't have to save much more. So it is about doing a bit of number crunching, really working out what your goal is and what you want to achieve, and then working that back to really work out what the ideal amount is that you should be saving for your future. There are some tools that you can use and Google to help you make some of those calculations, or that's exactly what a financial advisor is for, is to help you work out that goal and then work that back so that they can then tell you how much you need to be saving each month in order to achieve that goal. They can then advise you on what's the best investment vehicle to also put that money into and set you up with that savings plan. So hopefully that was helpful, just to give you some general rules and some tips around starting off your savings for your future later life. But definitely this is something that you should seek more advice around. And for more information, please just visit our website. You can check out our blogs and our website for more information on pensions and retirement planning.